Welcome to the Neen Valley Role-Playing Association, a group of friends who like to play RPGs. Let's role-playing games and try and have fun. If you like the video, please like and subscribe.
We're good.
And we're back. Last session. Well, there was definitely some learning, speaking to a dead body, learning more about what might have happened. Useful information, and some clues, and some leads, some great places to go. Certainly looks like a visit to March, perhaps first to see the oracles and then to investigate further this Zem culture, find out who they are and what they've been up to. But not only that, getting into a fight with a woman that you had previously spent a night with was an interesting experience for you, Lovelaw. And you learned that her name was Lady Atavan, and is tolerated on Craxis. But it seems pretty clear that Salnam is less than impressed by some of her behavior. Why did Salnam say to her that her masters use metal? Is there something in that? Who is she? Where does she come from? Who's she affiliated with? Who, literally, Lovelaw, did you get into bed with?
Well, that was a good question.
So, you're back on the ship. And you've been sat around, and it's first thing in the morning. Lovelaw, you sort of accepted that this morning you were going to be waking up with a heavy head, but it isn't anywhere near as heavy as you expected.
Nah.
Much less so, in fact. And collectively, you are working out your next move. There's definitely some admin that you need to do before you leave. JL is keen on making contact with some traders. Megan has expressed a desire to do the same, although her purposes seem different and the traders she's interested in seem different. JL also seems antsy. She wants to get an answer to something. And you feel that she's probably going to go and use some of her contacts.
Jail.
Talk to the right people.
Jail. Before you go, if I have a little word with you.
You need me to go last so I don't get us kicked off another planet. That's fine.
No, I need to just chat for a second. If we can get Shaggy and maybe go to your cabin for just a second. Just want to talk through a little thing.
Yeah, sounds good.
I look around for Shaggy. Hey. I would. So
I follow them.
I guess we go in the cabin, John.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Shag, get the door.
Okay. I put the immovable rod across the door.
No, we're not keeping secrets from the rest of the team. I want to tell you first so you can react however you want to react. We met Salnam last night. Your friend.
Okay. Well, I mean, I like to think of her as a friend, but I don't know.
I don't know if we
Don't know enough about her. I don't think.
fouled the bed a bit or not. We were visiting a place, and John, I don't remember the name of the place, so I'll count on you to to either say that it's a generic name or it's one I should know.
Yeah, it's called the White Lotus.
That's right.
Mm.
And there's a certain lady there that I had met before. Things started to get a little out of hand. And your friend Salnam entered the scene, defused things, set things straight. I don't know exactly what terms we left upon. Shaggy, can you fill in details?
I can't, Lovelaw. I was playing the buffoon at the time to try and distract her from guessing exactly what we were intending.
There was a bit of a fight, and there's evidently a family, this lady, and John, you just said the name, and I've biffed it. It's not on my paper.
Atavan.
Atavan.
Lady Atavan, yeah.
Lady
yeah.
Atavan.
Yep.
Whose masters deal in metal? Maybe that was something that was said.
Interesting.
Like, there's a
Bond
metal
of
helmet on
iron
the
things.
halfling. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
metal ships.
she was made fairly unwelcome by your friend Salnam.
Do you think she knew you were there, or you just happened to be
I think
wrong place,
she
right time?
absolutely knew everything that was going on before it happened.
Yeah.
And I think when you speak with her next, that might be something on her mind. That's why I wanted to pull you aside real quick.
Yeah, because I think she was a bit not annoyed at me, but I think she was frustrated that I asked the question about what the ego called her being not labor, and I asked what that meant because it was unusual, and she didn't seem all that happy about it. So yeah, I don't know how receptive she'll be, but I can ask because I want to go and ask her about something of my own anyway. So
play it carefully and keep your cards to your chest.
I don't know if carefully is my strong suit.
Some of the units I've worked with in the past, we've worked for money, we've worked for other things, but when you get a boss like her, you got to be careful. We can't foul that relationship, and that's what I was worried about, and I was hoping that maybe you could. But
I think it's become clear that one of the currencies of this place is information and the passage of information.
Yeah.
So
I suggest
it's becoming ever clearer to you that there's more to the information economy than there's obviously clearly the passage of goods, but that information is something that's has value here too. Yeah.
Suggest when you go to meet her, take one of us. You can leave us outside, but at least all the way to and all the way afterwards, you can discuss what's happened. If she invites them in, then you've got at least another brain with you.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, if you were there, she might be more open if it's just one-on-one. But you can certainly come.
I think, from what I've judged of her, you might be much better with Megan Lightfoot with you. That's
my parents used to say, it's not just the currency on the table that moves moves trade.
Actually,
nice,
Lovelaw, I think that's a fantastic idea if you think about it. JL.
Yeah.
The dead body that we spoke to, Varo spoke to, okay, that asked a load of questions. Megan knew of. And so we were going to go over to her Shrine of Many Enlightenments, which we still need to do. If we took Megan with you, if you take Megan with you, the pair of you might be able to get answers or ask questions that could lead us into a forward position within all of this when we go to Megan's place.
Salient point here.
Yeah,
That'd be nice. Yeah.
The Lady Adavan was a monk.
God damn, that's two good ideas I've had in the space of 48 hours. I'm gonna have to go and lie down.
Just get in the bucket. Get in the bucket. I'll carry you.
How do you know she was a monk? What gave her away?
Something to do with the fighting style.
Okay. Did you have a bit of a mark on the
she's
He got bitch slapped by the open palm of 10,000 blows.
Oh.
Could easily have.
Whereas the last time they met, he just had the 10,000 blows.
Fair enough.
It
could have been much worse.
I didn't think that was the kind of place that you were going.
No. It was a perfectly honorable place.
Shaggy
and I go to those places, we spend a lot more money.
It's expensive.
It's primarily a hotel, and but it also has dining, and it also has the gambling establishment as well, which is perfectly, there's plenty of places. It's effectively a really upmarket inn.
Yeah.
In essence.
You said you'd seen her before. What was she like the previous time? Was she different? Was she
a lot less slappy.
Yeah.
But was there much talking last time as well? Or
no. And I suppose in retrospect, I should have realized that I was batting a little bit out of the old ballpark, if you know what I mean.
She set you up, Lovelaw. She knew who you were. She went after you because
hang on. Whoa. No,
you're a big man.
Her attraction to you was genuine.
Mm.
That was just a one night stand. She was quite happy with.
Okay.
Subsequently, you think she saw an opportunity because she didn't even give you her name or take your ask your name or anything. Yep. Then what she did was subsequently she saw an opportunity to exploit that later. So the first instance was what it was, but the second instance was not.
It's good to know.
You haven't been pumped for information.
Yeah. Okay.
But she would have been.
Or anything,
It's good to know what other players are at the table in terms of who might be trying to interfere or help, or because I think there's a lot of other things going on that we just don't know about. People with asteroid weapons and oozes with arm things. It's a lot going on.
Hey, how do you expect me to fire my crossbow or use my sword without arms?
I'm going to set myself on this here ship of ours to avoid any more problems. But I do think that taking Megan with you for that discussion would be a good thing.
Okay. Do you like the new ship?
Hey, Shag, let's open the door. Let's get out before we.
Yeah, you head back to the table. As you're heading back to the table, all of you can hear somebody walking across the deck outside. And then there's a kind of slightly hesitant call out. Hello? And then there's a knock on the door. Actually, you hear a knock the wrong side, and then the footsteps come over. And then a knock the other side, which is the door that's just near you.
Hello?
I step to the side of the door, have a dagger low. Not like I'm going to do anything, but, just...
You're going to walk up and open the door, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you walk up and open the door. I mean, you're towering over, and there's this adolescent Tabaxi outside, and he clocks your blade, and he looks a bit nervous.
I put it
He
away.
says, sorry, my great grandfather.
No problem.
Sad news. Sad news. He died last night. He doesn't know whether to take that as a growl or what. And you can see that he's just really like, he's been told to come and find his great grandfather's friends and tell them, and he's like, is the bearer of the bad news going to be the one who causes it? I see this look on his face that goes through him, and you sort of nod and very sagely at him, and he realizes that everything's fine.
We will.
He's only a kid. I mean, he really is.
I look back at the crew.
Can we give him some? Can we give him something?
Say,
as is our tradition, his funeral is on now. Please, will you come?
I will represent the crew with my friend Shaggy. We were the closest to him. The others have important errands that must take precedence for the ship. You understand?
Varo,
Two of
do you
us
want
will
to
represent.
go with them, or are you? Which way are you going? So JL and Megan are going to go and see Salnam, and Shaggy and Lovelaw are going to go and go to the funeral. Are you going to the funeral, or are you going with them, or are you doing?
I'm going to go to the funeral. Going to the funeral. Yeah.
Okay.
Jay will she'll give him 10 gold for the family and a couple of little soap carvings that she'd been working on.
Wow, cool.
You kind of give him this little purse, and he opens it up, and he's just like, you can see the look on his face. He's just stunned.
You
by
paid
this
for his
amount of money.
university. At least a semester. Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just don't get the figures wet because they might turn into goo.
He really likes those. He's sort of really cool.
Just for me.
Anyway, so,
please tell me what the carvings are. Just for me, 'cause I wanted to know.
Yeah. What are the carvings?
One of the little cat. She's been working on a cat, so less square and terrified now. And one is a little approximation of the old ship.
Cool.
Like a wasp in effect.
Yes, a little wasp.
Yeah. Wow.
You've not quite got the wings sorted, so they're a bit more. They've got a bit more little structure to them than the little thin rods, but yeah, so they don't fall apart. But yes, it's an approximation of a wasp. She's getting better. It's not grey, but she's getting better.
That's pretty, JL. I like the ship.
I like that.
So I think we'll come back to the funeral in a minute then, if that's all right.
Yeah, Monty's going to come with us.
I beg your pardon?
Monty will come with us. I'm not going to keep him on the ship for the funeral.
Okay. Would you normally take a construct with you when you went places, social places?
Yeah, why not?
It carries his handbag.
I think you were weird. I beg your pardon.
Carries his handbag.
He dresses it up in a starched white shirt and a tailcoat, and
yeah,
has it pretend to be a butler. Follow him around. It lends him a certain air of class.
Or at least he
gives
thinks
him
so.
a certain rigidity that he lacks otherwise. Very good.
We see, but then he's then got a butler to hand his hat to. You know, he's take his top hat off and his cane and his cape, and he can give them to the butler.
Very good.
His man.
My man.
Manservant, yeah.
I thought Lovelaw was my man.
Yeah. You need to get out of the way and let JL and Megan do their thing.
So, JL and Megan, you head over to Salnam's office, hoping that she will be in attendance. You're starting to think of it less as her apartment and more as an office, but it's still a mighty strange situation that a teenage girl can exhibit the behaviours that she does.
Mm.
You walk up to the apartment door and knock, and there's a pause of maybe a minute, and you knock again, and then the door opens. Come in. She walks around into the rather than into the reception room. She goes into the first door, which is the office.
It's business.
About last night? He told you, did he?
Partly. Yes, partly about that.
He's told me nothing, so I am as unwise as anybody as to why I'm here. But
That's a failure. Sorry.
I'm going to assume that JL has filled you in with what
Yeah.
Lovelaw told her
On the way up, yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
that was the intention, was to tell the rest of you after she had her chance to react.
Right. Okay. You didn't really get a chance to do that, but JL has So Megan, JL has filled you in. And then Varo, you've been filled in by Lovelaw. And as you're heading to the funeral. Okay. So you now know pretty much what's gone down.
Yep.
Questions?
Yeah, we're just wondering who this lady Atavan kind of is associated with. Just we want to make sure we don't step on the wrong toes and be wary of who we need to be particularly careful of. And
Doesn't sound like Lady Atavan's very much in Salnam's confidence, shall we say. They sound very much being part of opposing parties.
It sounded like they had twigged something was going on just before you arrived, and then.
So
the thing is.
Sorry, Peter.
No, sorry. I mean, the thing about Craxis is obviously, as a neutral port, it has to be careful about who it, not siding with anyone and not offending anyone.
Yeah.
So while Salnam probably doesn't like this Lady Atavan, she probably has to tolerate her presence.
Otherwise, she'd be thrown away or thrown off, wouldn't she?
So,
well,
as a DM myself, I would say that probably that conversation you had with JL before she did this little walk.
Absolutely.
Because we're going over to the frickin'.
If you want to have a conversation beforehand, I've no problem with this conversation taking place. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Want a flashback if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Absolutely, 100%.
Little blaze in the dark.
No problem with that conversation taking place and there being a conversation around those things.
Yeah.
What I will say, Lovelaw, is that you got the distinct impression that it wasn't that Atavan's presence wasn't the issue, so much as it was that Salnam was cheesed off that things had happened in Craxis or potentially happened in Craxis that were beyond the pale.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So the issue that Salnam seemed to have with Atavan was that she was saying, right, you've done something here, and I don't like what you've done. In effect, and Atavan had to defend herself by saying, "Wasn't me, Gov."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean,
I passed those impressions on to JL before she goes.
Yeah. This is this is you. This is something to do with you. Why? What are you doing? And and stop. In other words, she was laying down the law. Yeah. But she was also questioning of what had gone on.
Yeah.
And also, she still didn't sound like a 16-year-old.
No.
Neutral ports have to play a very have to tread a very fine line.
Yeah.
Because Praxis doesn't have a lot of power in the sense that it is not part of a multi-planet empire.
That's true.
or big things. So,
That's true.
as what tends to happen with these places is they tend to have a level of neutrality, which means they're full of agents.
Yeah.
But the agents have to keep their activities below a certain level.
That is exactly what you're starting to think. Is exactly that. You're starting to think that there's various factions who are who have space on Craxis and are using Craxis for various different things. Basically as a stopping off point between various places.
Yeah, it's very useful to have those under the table.
Yep.
Trades, conversations that can't be done in the open because two sides may be completely opposed to each other publicly.
Yeah.
But they have to have a level of communication go on.
Yep. There's also goods that would not necessarily be considered saleable.
Yeah,
or would not necessarily, necessarily might skirt
things that are illegal in one area and illegal in another area, black market stuff.
There's also tax dodging, so there's import export stuff. It's not so much smuggling, but that kind of stuff goes on where one ship comes into Craxis, so and then stuff gets swapped to another ship, and then that goes, and a lot of that a lot of that is clearly going on. That's clearly what Craxis excels at, those kind of things. Why would you have a warehouse in space in the middle of nowhere that has very little use for the majority of the goods that are coming in and out?
Yeah, I mean, Craxis has it doesn't have any visible production capacity, any goods that are unique to it.
Nope.
It's purely its position and its political stance.
It is guarded by probably the most terrifying creature you could imagine.
Exactly. That's its USP, basically.
Yeah. Basically, it's guarded by an absolute behemoth of a thing.
Yeah.
Gold dragons wouldn't dick with her.
Yeah. So I think when you go to talk to Salnam, I think we can't expect her to be on opposite sides to anyone.
No.
She her position will be very much just trying to keep things, keep the wheels on the bus, basically.
Yeah, lean into the.
He does have morality.
He does, yeah. She might be willing to lend us some help under the table again, not overt, but maybe some information that might be helpful.
I mean, she's not going to.
Provided it doesn't lead back to her. Obviously.
Yeah, she's not going to stir the pot. She just wants to know what other players are kind of like at the table and just potentially want to meddle with us.
She might be willing to. I mean, obviously, when we came back with our evidence of what had gone on at this research base, she was quite willing to point enemies in the right direction. Let's put it that way. So I think, provided she can get away with it, she will probably be quite helpful. But I think we have to accept that there's going to be limits to that.
Oh yeah.
I think if you lean into the fact that we enjoy the hospitality here and consider this a bit of a home, and that we appreciate and will continue to provide services as necessary, I think our willingness to help keep us alive is going to go up.
Should we offer to throw a little get-together on the ship at some point, rather when we get back? Invite her along?
A good party is always a good thing. It's sometimes more dangerous than the battlefield, especially for someone like me. But
at the end of every season, some of those are definitely dangerous.
I think she can't be seen to be showing favours.
No, true.
If she came
to our party, then that kind of ties her to the stuff that we're doing.
Yeah,
She'd
yeah.
never come to our party, but she would send someone.
Even there,
That's-
that appear, that's showing. Yeah,
but we
I don't
are
think she would
fairly
come.
independent.
Well, yeah, but we have also done some shady or not so shady things.
Yeah,
Everybody.
might be worth a try.
Whilst
Maybe that
whilst we're giving JL some pointers with
back in your
reference to how to do stuff, and in a minute, God damn it, I'm not just a refrigerator for your beers.
Can I get everybody to make a perception check, please?
Can you, JL, ask her when you see her how we could get in touch with the Riga?
Okay.
Because they did offer to teach us some things about the ship that we've now got with the
Didn't
extra
they
bits.
give us location.
The Riga gave you a star chart to show you how to get to where they are.
Okay.
I just can't remember the name of it.
And John, you wanted a what?
Perception.
Perception check, please.
Yeah. Which
Roll twice.
obviously Varo and Megan are actually paying attention.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
not quite.
Okay,
Oh,
so bog standard.
Why did it
Vero.
roll mine twice?
Yeah.
Typically Varo,
You've had that problem before, haven't you?
because he won't get you a laptop.
Is it? It's gone and set itself to weird settings again.
Do you get advantage on perception checks?
I do.
Well, no, but
I'm aware of.
advantage shows up like Rob does. It shows up as two things side by side.
I'm fairly confident that's something to do with your plugin settings in Beyond 20, but I don't know what.
Yeah,
I
you
couldn't
have to
tell you
look.
what
You have to look
off
through
the
all
top.
the little settings, figure that
Yeah.
baby out.
I have no idea.
Because
Weird thing
because
was,
if
I
you
only
don't
saw
have a
one
look,
dice roll.
It's rolling it in D&D Beyond. Nobody else. Oh no, hang on. Everybody else is no. Varo's rolled in D&D Beyond as well, but you've got Megan perception check, and then it's perception +5 check. So it's like it's giving us
It's rolling it
advantage
3 times.
in D&D Beyond. Yeah,
Three times?
weird.
No, it's only twice.
Yeah, no, not in D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond it looks like 3 times.
Oh.
No, it's only twice.
I've got perception check, and actual result.
How does mine come up?
No,
'Cause I
I'm only
can't see
seeing
mine.
2 rolls for it in D&D. I'm looking in D&D Beyond here now, and I've literally got one where it says it rolled me a 4 plus my +5, giving me my 9, and then one where it's rolled me a 15 with my +5s, giving me a 20. 2 rolls is what I'm showing. Is what it's showing me in D&D Beyond.
This is what I'm seeing. I don't know if I'm seeing the same as anyone else. Is that what you can see as well, Rob?
Who, what, where?
What?
Where?
Discord, mate. Sorry, I had to put it in Discord because that was the only place I could paste
Yeah,
the graphic. in.
exactly the same. But I can't see
Yeah.
my rolls, so I might have an issue with mine.
You don't know because you just switch it off in D&D Beyond. You just say don't roll it in D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
So Beyond
Yeah,
20
it goes up.
doesn't roll the D&D Beyond dice, it only puts it in roll 20.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't matter anyway.
That's strange.
We'll take the first results. It's not an issue, but
Yeah.
it's a thing.
you know, says Varo. Still don't understand why she doesn't eat anything.
Who?
Maybe you should invite her to a party. See if we can get a drink or some food in her.
Varo, how do you know that she doesn't eat anything?
Well, I've just never seen her.
We haven't spent that long with her.
JL, you have.
Not seen her eat or drink anything either, as far as I know.
No, you've spent a lot more time with her than anyone else.
She does have some suspicions about what might be going on, but she's not sure if these things are possible or not.
So, Varo, are we thinking, or are you thinking that maybe the young lady, Salnam, is a... Balls, I shouldn't have done that. Is a proxy body.
Yep. That's what I was thinking.
And she's not actually where she is, and the proxy body is that of the huge Leviathan in the sky.
Would explain why the Riga called her what they did.
Yeah. Or she
definitely
just
think
or she feeds
there's a
on
connection.
blood via transfusions.
Not seen that either.
Well, you wouldn't you? I mean, it's not something that you would parade round on a metal stick with like a star effect with big wheels on, you know, with a bucket of blood dripping down into a tube of some sort.
Some people do. Some people are very.
Yeah, only pro athletes. Oops.
All get a bit tense. Okay, so let's go back to Salnam. So you've walked in.
Yeah.
She's asked you.
Sweetie?
We can pick this back up again. We can go around it again if you need to. It's not an issue. Okay. So you asked her a question. And your question was, who's she affiliated with, right? Sometimes there are things that you can know that you can never unknow.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Do you actually want to know the answer to that question? The thing is, JL, you are expert at asking the right questions. To some, they might seem like the wrong questions, but you always seem to me to ask the right ones. The pertinent questions. The difficult questions. The ones that often have complex answers. Answers that you may not want to know, because once you know them, you can never unknow them.
Yes.
So, we've danced around this subject many times, you and I. Do you really want to know the answer? Would it be easier if you spent your time in ignorance?
Easy. Yes. But
What about your companions?
I can't say I'm all that interested in easy.
Easier is not
Yeah.
always the safest route to take, sadly.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Indeed. What are your
And
companions? Megan, you are here. You're obviously in support of this, but the rest of them?
They,
What about the giant man?
well, yes, I think he himself was concerned by what they nearly walked into last night. Being of a military background, he's familiar with various things, so he was aware of what was going on, and yeah, we didn't want to accidentally fall foul of give something away that we shouldn't do to someone that doesn't want that information.
Fair enough.
But I think what was I going to say? I've forgotten what I was going to say. But yes, they would have been. You know, I think some of them would have been here, but they've gone to the old Tabaxi's
You don't need to come here mop-handed to talk to me. I
funeral.
understand how this works.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why only the two of us came. We do not wish to treat this mop-handed. You are somebody that we respect. We enjoy the leniency you give us here, and we enjoy running the odd errand for you. if necessary.
You have been friends.
We know that. Exactly. We know that you have shown us friendship, and we hope in return we have shown you friendship.
Indeed. I
Feels
value
like-
it.
We wish to honour that by not coming here mob-handed. We just wish to know that we have not damaged our relationship in any way either.
It's become a bit like home.
So this will be the last time I ask the question. Are you sure you want an answer to this?
Must admit, sorry, I missed the question, so
So the question that JR had asked was,
I don't know.
who is Lady Atavan affiliated with?
Ah, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I was too busy trying to
Well,
work
that
out why my
That was
dice
before we
had
had the
rolled like that.
conversation, so it was like, yeah. So I could have got a
Sorry.
bit lost, and hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, missed it, sorry.
I've asked you 3 times. It may seem pedantic, but I want to know that the answer
It
is correct.
it conveys to us that the information involved is not to be trifled with and to be treated with respect and the weight that it involves. So I understand that. I'm happy to proceed as long as
I
Megan.
think the thing for us is that our friend Lovelaw has enjoyed a connection with Lady Atavan. It was nothing more than a one-night thing. They both enjoyed each other's company. But now he is worried that by that connection we have damaged ourselves, tainted ourselves, maybe in your opinion as well, which we would not want in any way. But
No?
it is sometimes wiser to know the path you tread than not know. And at the moment, we have been developing a friendship with this lady. Is that unwise of us to do that? We cannot know if we do not know who she serves.
And if she didn't get the information she wanted, is someone else going to come and try and retrieve said information? Because clearly we know things that we know things that probably other people do not want us to know. So I missed that. What did you say?
Not beat around the bush any longer, JL. Do you have your notebook? Your
Always.
sketchbook?
Always.
You showed me a sketch some time ago.
Oh, this one.
Shit. That you said confused you.
Page 1.
That ship could have brought Atavan with it.
Ah,
I
okay.
knew it.
They are the same.
I showed this to some. Oh, I forgot the planet what it was called. When we took the Thrycreen back, we showed they were about to invite us to a meal, and I showed them. I asked them what if they recognised this, and they told us that they chased us off the planet. Didn't go well.
With
Yeah,
force.
do that.
They became very aggressive and almost tried to take lives.
Fear will do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob, you were asking for clarity, mate. What was it you were?
I thought you just said something about something about sun, but I couldn't catch whether that was right or not. I just didn't hear it properly. Whatever you just said about the picture.
So the picture is of the ship that
Yeah.
the Thrycreen whispered. Alas! That was the term that they used.
Yeah.
Sorry, what term did they use?
You've asked that word.
Olas or Olaf's.
Olas.
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 And you've used that word. Well, JL's used that word on a couple of occasions, and it's got a bit tense and a bit frosty. And you had the picture of the ship, and that caused them to lose it.
Yeah. But
So-
what did Salnam just say
She
about it?
said that ship could have brought Atavan.
Yeah. And then after that, you said something, and it
They
sounded
are
like something like
they are
the
affiliated.
Crimson
They're
Sun.
one and the same. No, nothing to do with the sun.
Nothing to do with suns. Right, okay, one of
No.
the same. Right, that's what I didn't...
Yes.
I misheard, and I just wanted
Yep.
to Shit, how can I write that out? Misheard, but it sounded like up your bum.
Okay, so what she's saying is that the ship, the ship, which you have the word Olas attached to, the Olas, whoever they are, right? That Atavan is one of them somehow.
And I would like to clarify for anyone watching this episode that if you rewind back a little bit, JL, played by Martin, actually said that the metal mask was possibly tied with the metal ship. I just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think referred to in the last session as the flat-faced ones.
Yes. So, awesome. Sorry, I'm going to shut up because you guys are in the middle of it.
Good catch, Mr. Varo. Very good catch. Yep.
Taking my notes.
Very good. So,
yeah, because they chased, they followed us from the first time we left port. They were tracking us.
Did they get close?
No, we turned around to see what was going on, and they did the same. They ran, yes.
That's because they were watching.
Yeah.
Had they been attacking you, it would have been very different. There would have been numerous ships and. Oh shit! There's a ship on your own. It's dangerous out there, and that would be very dangerous.
It's a fascinating ship. I mean, it's. I didn't get a great look at it, but it's intriguing. Very.
If you want to know more about their history, well, you could ask Atavan.
I might take your up on that.
Perhaps that's information for another day, and it's not really my position to tell. But I can tell you that Atavan is an agent of the Olas. I can also tell you that if you use that term, those who know what it means and who might use it will generally be incredibly fearful and can often turn on you. So I'm not surprised by the response of the Thri-Kreen.
Do they have a preferred term that's not as get thrown off planety?
They've created a myth around themselves, rather successfully, I think. But really, their only interest is survival.
Okay.
Look, honestly, I don't think it is my position to tell you more.
You've given us plenty. Thank you.
But I can tell you this. If they offer you riches to do something, be careful. They have eyes everywhere, and those who cross them, they often get punished thoroughly. So just be careful. Hence why I was certain it was Atavan and a crew that was involved. But it seems not.
Are you familiar with the name Kulchar? Was that right, Megan? Kulchar?
It is indeed right. Zem Kulchar. He was referred to as a stinking elf. A wizard, I think they named him as. An assassin. I'll read back through my ziggly notes.
No. Not a name I think I've come across.
Oh.
You'll probably hear about it more because you're. Oh, what's the guy's name? The GIF. Call. What's his name?
Well, the body we found when it was questioned.
Yes.
It seemed to infer that this Zem Kulchar has a base here, even though the victim did not know where that base was.
Sorry, can I just get something on that? Just step out there, the narrative slightly, just for a second. Where did you get this idea that there was a base here?
Well, it's not a base per se, but there is a let's call it a waypoint where some of his cronies have rocked up before, but nobody knows quite where it is or where they frequent and hang out. I believe was how it was put to us on the 14th.
So, you were given a series of answers. Do you remember the answers?
Yes.
Okay. So, the first questions and answers, you remember all of those, do you?
Yeah, I wrote them all down.
Okay. All right. That's good because you said, who do you think killed you? And the body's response was
Zem Kelchar, things held me under the water. Zem Kelchar's things. Thugs. Sorry, it's a
held
you.
me under the water.
Held me under the water.
right.
Okay.
Okay. And you then said, where is Zem Kalchar's base on Craxis? Because that was your
Yes.
final question.
Yeah.
Yes.
His response
And
was
the
he does
answer
not know.
was-
And
He does not know.
No.
But just because he
You're right.
doesn't know doesn't mean to say that there
there
isn't
isn't
a place, a general meetup place.
There had been no conversation from the body about anything to do with the base.
I
No,
suppose
must
we're
admit,
assuming.
I hadn't
now, hang on.
assumed there was a base.
I think
here.
we're assuming that Zem Kelchar was here on Praxis when he gave those orders to Beldo Patchway.
Mm-hmm.
Is that is that a wrong assumption?
I think we can't ask that question of John,
No.
unfortunately, Christine. That will give too much away. We had 5 questions. We used them wisely.
Remember... Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I assumed from the answers that there were agents here.
Yeah,
But
snap.
I didn't go so far as to say there was a base.
Yeah.
Zem Kelchar definitely has thugs on this planet because those thugs killed Beldo Patchway by holding him under the water and drowning him. So therefore, we're assuming, I suppose, that he has some form of base here. He may not be there at that base, but we're assuming he has a base of some kind because he's operating people on this planet.
I suppose.
Thousands and thousands of people transit through here.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose
week.
our question 5 shouldn't have been where is Zem Kelchar's base on Craxis. It should have been does Zem Kelchar hire underlings to do
Well, we know that.
the work?
We
He's
know
done
he
it.
does.
You know,
Yeah.
which case, I mean, it could be anyone. It could be any of the miners. It could be anyone from the streets wanting an extra couple of bob. You know, so yeah. But that's where we got the impression that they had, or he has, an outlet on Craxis, and there you go. Now, it might be completely wrong, John, but
So,
that's
Salnam-
what we're working with as players
Yeah. So
and
Salnam's
as player
response to you,
characters.
Salnam's response to you, Megan, is I don't know the name. Thousands of people come through here every week on ships. There are agents here. Generally, anybody who stays here for any length of time, I make sure I know what their business is and what they're up to, so I can really keep an eye on them. But that's not a name that I've heard before. I'm not familiar with it. I understand that you got more information from the poor unfortunate halfling, and you have some leads that point to this being on March. Perhaps the Zem Kalchar is on March. Is that correct? Or Axe filled me in.
He filled you in incorrectly. Sadly. No, he is not on March, but the monks on march traded with him.
Right.
But when they realized he was shady in perhaps where he was getting the items that they were buying from him, they broke that connection with him. But no, it was never my knowledge or my impression that he resided on March, only that he did trade with the monks there on March.
Right.
But we are going to March, I must admit, to speak to my brethren, see if we can find some more answers to exactly where he does reside.
We shall see where that leads.
Indeed.
Before we go, do you have a favourite flavour of cake? I want to send one over to say thank you.
Delightful, thank you. I think I like carrot.
Okay.
You
Interesting.
think? Have you maybe not experienced too many different cakes in your time?
These things really depend on how I'm feeling. Goes with the hair.
Yes. And do you have anyone you could recommend for anybody here on Craxus that could sell me a bag of tricks? I've been looking to acquire one, and I might be able to save me some time looking in the shops.
To the merchants, I'm afraid that their stocks are not something I'm overly familiar with.
Fair enough. Thank you.
I have a supplier that I use sometimes for magic items. And just occasionally when we need something specific.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get no joy, come back and I'll point you in that direction.
You'll know if I'm successful.
Yeah. Indeed.
Thank you, and I'll try and get that cake sent over as soon as we can.
Thank you. I don't have much to do today. So
We have kept you long enough, and you have been very kind with the information. Thank you. And
just keep it to yourselves and keep your counsel.
Yeah,
we do.
I know that one of your companions loves to ask questions, even more than you do, JL. Sometimes questions that seem very innocent, and this is not an innocent question. So don't ask it of other people unless you are on very sure ground. You understand me?
Yes.
It's dangerous.
Yes.
Those are very wise guidances. Thank you, lady. Thank you.
Right, we're going to take a quick break, folks, and then we'll be back with the funeral. So, the three of you arrive at Raris's home, and you find it's stuffed full of Tabaxi and a smattering of other folks as well. And there are so many mourners; they spill out into the street and they vast gaggle and fill up the kind of area around the door. There must be well over 100 people here. It's difficult to well your way in, but for some reason, Lovelaw, you are able to easily find a way through the crowd. That they seem to get out of the way for you for some reason. You can't really tell why.
No idea. I have this same problem.
The kid who came to get you, he says, this way. And he says, here, my granddaughter, my grandmother.
Madam.
And he kind of points to, and then he sort of fades off into the crowd. And there's
madam.
this slender, middle-aged female Tabaxi stood there. She's got black fur, which is, you don't get many Tabaxi who are black. You can see a little bit of mottling, a little bit of colouring, but primarily she's black. She's wearing a yellow turban, a bright scarlet overshirt, and blue and white striped trousers. I mean, she just looks phenomenal. She greets you. Ah, my friends, come in. Thank you. Thank you for coming. It's most gracious of you to attend.
Madam, it is our absolute honor to be invited.
Thank you, ma'am.
In his last months, my father spoke very highly of both of you. You, sir, and she looks
and
up at
Varo.
I think he appreciated that your experiences of war were similar to his own. Fortunately, his children were spared this, but I think he carried those things with him. It seems surprising to me that he lived as long as he did, but wondrous. And I think that you, sir, and she turns to you, Varo, I think you perhaps eased many of his ailments, saved his life, in fact, which was a comfort because it meant that we were able to all see him at the end of his life. And you look around and you realize that a good chunk of the Tabaxi in here are his extended family. And it's an important point, which is that it isn't really something that you've thought about too much, but Varo, particularly, that Tabaxi are their communities are quite different, their families are quite different to most other species. And what happens is that male and female Tabaxi will get together to have a pup or two, and then when the child has reached a certain age, they will separate, and the child will go off to become an adult, and that couple will then mutually agree to separate and go their separate ways. And so what you end up with Tabaxi is these extended families that are not the same as let's say your elf family would be, a more conventional structure with lineages. They're much more loosely agglomerated, and you don't know where all this lot came from, but they must have all been coming in over the last week or so, just coming into Craxis just to be here, to see him in his final days. And actually it's incredibly heartening that he had such a connection and was so closely associated with such a broad family. And Lovelaw, it particularly strikes you. You think about his military career and then the fact that he was also a family man, very broad family man, and that makes you think about your own future and what you might think about.
What does the end look like when this guy's being celebrated? I do think that it's worth saying to this lady.
Sorry, just my apologies. We decided it'd be a good idea to move the printer up here, and tonight my family have decided that it's printer night. They have,
I don't hear a thing upon it, John. So
no, it's not coming up on the microphone.
When it's printing, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to be funny. I'm about to be damn funny. So get. So, ma'am, I just want you to know I greatly appreciate how you have come through the turmoil and the problems that D&D has given you, that black is bad.
Okay, insert picture of Voldemort here.
Or black dragons or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
I don't understand why it's called a white when it isn't white. I don't understand.
There we go.
Etc. Yeah. Anyway, so she chats to you for a few moments, and then she says, "Please."
She's got things to do.
Well, she's just greeting other people, and she's talking, and you mingle for a few minutes, and you have a drink, and you toast the old man. There is a on the bed in the corner. There is a like this wicker basket, this kind of rolled up sort of wicker basket, which you realise is like an analogy of a coffin. And of course it just strikes you how small he is. How small he was, how frail he was. At the end of his life, but you just realize what an incredible life this person lived. What an and the astonishing connections that made across here. And many members of the family come up and introduce themselves. You're like, you get to a point where you just can't remember the names.
Shaking hands, pause.
But you're just they're all greeting you, and they're saying about how their father, their grandfather, their great grandfather. You realize this really, really huge diaspora of people whose lives he's touched, and you got the impression that he was some lonely old man living in a one-room apartment, down a side alley, and it gives you a completely different view of him as a person.
Varo, perhaps we should pause here for a while and listen to their tale.
Printer again.
Sorry, just on fine. Bad jokes, yeah, great.
Headphones.
That might actually raise some heckles.
Yeah.
Man, I threw that at Pete, and he just, the ball was there, and Pete's like,
I know, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I know, Paul's tail, yeah.
No, Pete's pretending to be like a cat on a hot tin roof.
So you've all been so you've been there for a little while, and you're talking, and actually it's simply because you're just head and shoulders above pretty much apart from there's this gif who's popped in and has been wandering around. They're the only other person who's sort of standing head and shoulders above everyone else. But it's you, Lovelaw, that notices there's you do this weird double take. You see somebody out the corner of your eye, and your brain immediately tells you who it is, and you turn and you look, but you know it can't be. And walking through the door is yet another Tabaxi. And this Tabaxi looks uncannily like Raris. And these two, you just kind of grab them and go, look, 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 look. And you sort of turn them and all three of you look. And you all see the likeness. I mean, this guy looks, it's absolutely uncanny. And he walks in and he talks to a few people, then he sort of wanders past you. And as he walks past, you realise he's a little bit fuller figured. He's just a little bit more, a little bit wider, a little bit chunkier, not fat, but he's just a bit musclier. And you realise he's obviously a lot younger, but his markings are incredibly similar. And so you just eavesdrop for a moment. You from what you can tell, actually, he comes over to I didn't tell you her name, to Ara, who was the daughter, Raris's oldest daughter, and talks to her, and you can tell just from the brief bit of eavesdropping that he's not actually related at all. He's not part of this family. He's just another Tabaxi who's come to, give his condolences. But the three of you are like, it's just uncanny.
May have
So similar. I mean, the other Tabaxi don't seem to notice.
Maybe some other side of the sheet stuff going on here, but sure looks like a similar fellow.
Brother from another mother.
Yeah, I mean, some people do look alike, right?
I mean, I don't know how much Tabaxi.
They all look the same to you. Is that what you're saying?
No.
That's what
I'm
you're
not.
saying, isn't it?
I'm not saying is how much Tabaxi's
Except for
fur
the black ones.
patterns are
Beat.
common or uncommon in that
So
sense.
Tabaxi are not particularly common. No, I mean, you know, they are kind of various places across the extent, but they're not, you know, you won't find huge communities of them in general. This is probably one of the bigger gatherings of Tabaxi that you are likely to see in your life. You know, you tend to kind of come across them in 2s and 3s, 4s, 5s, maybe, you know, but not much more than that. If you see 10 Tabaxi together, that's a lot normally. So this is exceptional. They must have come from lots of different places. But you do know that they range quite a lot. You know, they range in colour. You know?
Mm-hmm.
They are jaguar people, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Yeah.
But Maztica was a bit too racist back in the old AD&D AD&D second edition days, so we don't talk about it anymore. That's where they originally came from.
I will wander over to the coffin itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to, I don't know if anyone else has done it, and I'm not watching my buddies, but I'm just going to put a big old hand on top of it and just say, Nuada Preserve. And I'll nod and walk away.
Very good.
So Varo's got a thoughtful look on his face.
Very sorry, what? Beg your pardon?
He's got a thoughtful look on his face.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that very often.
No.
No, I mean, he's been looking around, you know, he's been quite quiet at the wake. And, you know, looking around and, you know, thinking back on how such a simple action for him had such a profound effect on so many people.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he says to Lovelaw, he says, I think I'm going to go see if I can do some good here today.
You've already done good.
Okay.
But I could do more.
As we all could.
Shaggy leans in and quietly says, but if you do more good, then that means that him and I will have to do not quite so good to balance everything out.
You're going to do that anyway, aren't you? I mean, I don't think my actions affect you that much.
What are you trying to say, Varo? We're at a wake. You're not supposed to point fingers.
Yeah.
This is not the wake, guys. This is the
this is
well, it's the funeral.
Had the
Sorry,
wake.
yes, you're right. Yeah.
So, I
Funeral,
mean,
you're
they're
right.
going to put this guy in the ground, or they're going to burn him, or they're going to do something that we don't know for Tabaxi. And we need to be prepared for that. And we need to be prepared for that.
They're going to attach a bit of string to one end, hang him up, and then they'll bat him around.
Do you know what I think that these guys would really like to know? I think that these guys are really wanted to know who was his favourite. I think we need to talk to Dead and ask him.
Oh, gosh. Could you imagine if you did a raised dead at something or
the funeral?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something like this. What
That's
a
it, yeah.
terrible thing.
Where? Okay. We have 5 questions.
Number 1.
Where
Who's your favourite?
Where are the keys to the car?
There might be some culture that has a funeral rites, where as part of the funeral rites, speak with dead is one of the
Wow, absolutely,
the
yeah,
funeral
yeah.
You know,
rites.
why wouldn't it, John?
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
D&D environment, that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Where did you put the will?
yeah,
Would be
yeah.
a very popular question.
Who bought you the most amount of drink?
Start packing the ship, ready to go.
Yeah, way to go, JL.
Oh,
Absolutely.
also, do you recognise this ship? Well, it's a service that we might be able to offer to give people peace.
I feel really bad about that idea.
So
Mhm.
anyway,
should.
so Varo's going to ask around, see if he can find if there is like a local charity hospital that helps, just basically helps healing people.
Veterinarian.
Can't afford it, who can't afford it, or for various other reasons. And then he's going to help out with cure spells, and he's also got a very useful healing song that he can do as well.
Before you move off, let us finish this funeral. I think between the three of us, I could use maybe your song.
No, but
Yep.
so just checking. Nobody's got any thoughts on this guy who looks remarkably like Raris. Then no.
No, I want to talk to
Yeah, I
him,
think
but
it's an
I haven't
illusion.
gotten there yet. I was thinking we would put the guy in the ground, or oh gosh.
Sorry. You were the opposite of. But it's like because you said something like a week or two ago, or a session or two ago, and I'm like, yeah, and then you're like, yeah, it's an illusion. Oh,
What? Okay. Can we have like a roll
Can
or
we have that in
something
English?
to remember what he said 2 weeks ago, maybe?
And
Come on,
who
can
is
we
he?
have that in English?
I know it's me, but
you, Rob. Yeah, it was you said it. I'm sure it was you that said it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I would recognise. I would recognise, which is why I'm not playing up on the fact. But yeah, I reckon it's an illusion. I say to these guys.
Well, then do something about it.
Shapeshifter? Illusion? I don't know.
Do something about it.
Yeah, no. I mean,
The thing is, all the other Tabaxi seem to recognise this guy.
Yeah.
if it's who I think it is, then it's metal.
What?
What?
No,
Oh,
it's a Tabaxi.
What?
Yeah.
Just a Tabaxi. Looks like he might be a merchant, dressed in reasonably nice clothing.
Oh, so it's not who I think it is. Right. Okay.
No.
So 2
Whether
weeks
you
ago.
thought it was, I don't know, but no,
Fine.
it is genuinely a Tabaxi.
2
I
weeks
was
ago.
gonna wait. I was gonna wait
Could
till
be a
after the.
shape-shifting spell, disguise, or something like that.
By itself is only effective to a certain degree. In a press of a room like this, it would be very difficult to disguise self.
I'm gonna.
You are reasonably confident this person is not disguised. That they look like what they look like. This is what they look like.
I mean,
let me draw because I thought we were going to go down a particular route.
yeah, you'll have to
the way
remind me,
people are
John.
reacting to him. Sorry, Jim, the way people are reacting to him, do they react to like they recognise him? It's not just like a Tabaxi who's just turned up and they've gone, "Oh, okay, who are you?"
So some people
I'll-
seem to recognise him.
Yeah.
Some people seem to recognise him. Others don't. It's not like most of the family members don't recognise him. You think the locals do.
Okay.
The locals seem to recognise him. The family members who you think probably aren't local, who have flown in, who are the majority bunch, like 2/3,
So,
they don't recognise him.
All
I gotta
right.
say, I don't.
Any chance that when Tabaxi was attacked, it wasn't him that they were looking to kill? It was actually this dude, whoever he is,
Hey, you're not
that
here.
they were looking to actually kill. Oh no, I'm not there. I'm trying to give you some directions.
You're
Get
trying
on
to
with
make
it.
smart. You're trying to make it smart.
Yeah, be smart.
John, I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that the crowd seems to part around me, I'm going to walk over to the guy,
Right.
the Tabaxi.
Yep. Okay.
And I
He's talking to someone, and then he sort of sees you kind of off his left shoulder, and he turns.
offer him a
hello.
hand. I know that's not necessarily how it's done, but I offer him a hand.
That's fine. He's more than happy. You put your hand out, and he shakes hand. Hello. I don't think I've had the pleasure.
We're some friends of the recently departed.
Oh.
This is Varo. This is Shaggerus.
Hello.
We are outsiders in many ways, but I just wanted to say you look extremely like the deceased, to the point that I needed to come see you and verify for myself that I was not completely mistaken.
He gets hold of his jowls and kind of goes like that, and he goes, "See, all me."
No. I know you're not. I know you're not the deceased. I just
It's not this
wanted
guy.
to gaze upon you because
I'm sorry if I
deceased.
disconcerted you, my friend. Yes. Many people have said that indeed Raris and I were very much look very much alike.
Ah,
I just thought that was perhaps a slight dig at me.
Oh,
Simply
on
because
the contrary.
the old man was very old, and obviously I'm considerably younger than he is.
But you can see he was very much loved, though.
Who is he?
Indeed.
Who is he?
Excuse me, sir, for being so bold, as I'm on Lovelaw's tailcoats anyway.
Mhm.
But who are you? What's your name? We've just introduced ourselves.
Sorry, forgive my manners. I'm Osterus. I'm a merchant here in Craxus.
What fine goods do you sell?
I specialise in magic items.
Do I recognise him? Is he one of the guys who tried to stiff us? Or should I say Pete, when he tried to buy something and then actually ended up with a scarf? Too soon?
No. You've not seen him.
now.
You've not seen him as like you've not been in a store and come
Right,
across him
okay.
before. You haven't seen him before. But there's
Get
enough
his
people
card for JL. Get his
Yeah.
card for JL needs a magic trader. Get his card.
Our party could.
Do you by chance
You're not
have,
here.
Do you by chance have an ident chip or a card, or where can we find you? Because I've got a captain who's after a magical hat.
Yes.
No. Bag. No. Jug.
I mean, she'll
No.
take a magical hat as well if she's one going.
Boots. I think she needs an awful
She
lot of
doesn't want
magical things.
Boobs.
I
She does not
appreciate the
need magical
question, but
boobs.
perhaps we should not have it. It should not be a question that we ask here.
No, card. He wants your
Very
card. He
good.
wants your card. Give him his card.
If we could see you later, where would we find you?
My offices
Yes.
are on level 3,
Hmm?
number 225.
225.
Okay.
I should be back later this afternoon, and we can talk.
Thank you.
Between you and I, what's about to happen here so that we do not, as outsiders, be surprised at the activity? Is this an interment? Is this a immolation?
The
I'm
funeral
sorry.
rites.
Yes.
Yes, please.
It was, as I understand it, it was the old man's wish to be cast into Wildspace. So I believe that
Very good.
plan a little later is to take a skiff beyond the air envelope of Craxis, and for him to be pushed towards the star and to
Very
travel.
good.
You guys don't know how lucky you are. It could have been that he's cooked and you're all expected to eat a little bit of him to take him with you on your travels further on. You don't know how lucky you are. You are so lucky.
Note to self: Christine is never allowed to DM in our group.
I mean, I thought that the speak with dead at the funeral was creepy enough.
I know.
But is it speak with dead and the dead person recommends which are the best parts of them to eat? I mean, how does this
Yummy,
work?
yummy.
This just gets worse.
My top nipple on the left-hand side.
Oh,
It's a bit
yeah.
like the,
That's
it's a bit
special
like the
bit.
bovine
Only
in,
special gets
in
to get that
From
bit.
the End of the Universe, isn't it?
I whisper
Gonna
into
do
Lovelaw. I whisper into Varo's ear because he's shorter than Lovelaw. Should we offer to actually take him out to? And then I stop, and then I actually go, Lovelaw, bend down, and then I go, Lovelaw, should we actually offer to take the body out into wild space for them to save them having to hire a skiff?
We could do so.
The arrangements have already been made.
Very good.
But I've got a
Everything is all
feeling
about
the
to
arrangements
stand in
may
the
have
way.
already been made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we just steal the body and do it for him? He would have loved that, wouldn't he?
Sir, we are a complicated crew.
Well,
Please,
these two are.
Right.
Yes.
Happy to talk to you later.
Looking forward to it. Varo, I assume you
And
have
wanders
other
off
things
the
you're
crowd.
wanting to do.
Yep,
So
so
is there like a?
Varo's going to go off and do some good work.
He's gonna go peel off and do the goodness.
Okay.
Is there like a procession, John? How does this function? What's this rite?
Yes. So what happens is a little further on, there is a procession. So everyone leaves the house, and then there are two bearers, because it's not that heavy, and they carry the box down through the street, and then there is an enormous amount of cheering and kind of shouting like positive affirmations, and everybody sort of skipping about and being very positively minded. It's not negative at all. It's all, and you hear people yelling out things, like memories. Everybody seems to be sort of yelling out different positive memories of Raris as they go, and in the end the three of you even kind of join in yelling out your own.
I always wanted to pet him on the head.
Yeah, things like that. Do get a few like, okay. Nobody seems to mind. It's
He
actually
always
quite-
cheated me
Now,
at fucking cards.
one corner of the docks, there's a small skiff, and they climb onto the skiff, and then everybody basically applauds and cheers as the skiff flies off. It just disappears out into space, and you can see far in the distance that you can see what they do. That they get the wicker basket, and literally somebody just goes and pushes it really hard, and it just sort of starts to float out into wild space. It's just, eventually it will just disappear from view.
I look around to see what's expected.
Everybody seems to be
Now-
breaking up. That seems to be it. Everybody seems to be going their separate ways now.
Okay, there's no like big dinner or okay.
Nope, that's it. It's all done.
Shaggy,
It's like
Shaggy,
lunchtime.
Let's go rejoin Varo and make sure he gets back to the ship safely, and then we'll find
Varo's
the
going to a
ladies.
monastery to become a monk for the day.
No,
I-
Varo's
I-
going to make some contacts in the town, so that's fine.
Yeah.
To
That's
spread
right.
his,
That is what,
to
uh,
spread his
see if he
good
can find
seed amongst the
He's going to
citizens.
find a free clinic somewhere.
perhaps the two of us should head back to the ship.
I think maybe we should actually go to the Pink Oyster Bar again, and where we met Rarix, and raise a toast there.
There's so many things wrong with that, but there's so many things right. Let's go.
Whilst Varo's spreading his good seed about the denizens, I think we should,
I think-
congratulate him.
Martin, there was something you wanted to find.
Yeah.
Yes.
A what?
A bag of tricks.
Oh, what? Sorry, pardon? I can't hear you, mate. I don't know if you have.
Oh, sorry.
Bag of
It was muted.
Bag of tricks.
A bag of tricks. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. It was really weird because it was kind of coming in and out, and it was like.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an uncommon item.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I think it comes in 3 flavors or three styles. I think she'd have preference for one, but any would be good.
Okay. Sorry, I hadn't looked it up before. It's a bloody summoning thing, isn't it?
More mayonnaise by any chance, John?
No, it's summoning animals.
Sending
Look at the legacy one.
hang on, a bag of tricks.
Bag of tricks, yeah.
So he puts his hand in and he pulls out a hippopotamus.
Yes,
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
The old giant squid.
Yeah.
For hippopotamus reads giant elk.
Yeah. Anywhere from a weasel to a tiger.
Yes. Grey, rust, or tan. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought there's
All right.
because she thinks it'd be fun.
There's going. So okay. So the question is: do you want to go around the merchants, or do you want to wait and speak to this?
She doesn't know about this.
No, but
What's his face?
well, it's assumed that she does.
Yeah, I think she'll wait for this other person, and then if that fails, then she can go wander around the merchants.
Okay.
I mean, she'd have had a kind of like she'd been making note of like the magical retailers and sellers when she's been up and down to the various levels and then wandering around the place. So she's got a couple of ideas of where she might go. If
I'm going to take JL to a lovely cake shop that I saw, and we're going to get a carrot cake ordered. But I'm also going to get ordered a box of little pop cakes. And the pop cakes are going to be in a massive range of different flavors. There's going to be lemon drizzle in there. There's going to be a black forest gateau. There's going to be every sort of flavor of cake you can think of. Because I just get the feeling that poor Salnam has not experienced the full flavors and wonders of the cake world. So I want her to have a little box of explosively wonderful different flavors, just so she can actually work out whether carrot cake is actually her true favorite cake. Anyway, so there we go. We're getting a little box of that as well sent over to her.
Right.
Okay. So this beautiful carrot cake and this big box of hot cakes.
All right. So, Christine, Megan wanted to tour some woodworkers.
Do indeed, yes. While we're exploring for the cake vendor, I am keeping my eye open for
I think you're going a little bit too far for
woodcrafters.
fancy. I think medieval cake vendors are a slightly different thing to 19th century French patisserie. But anyway, sorry. Carry on. So you go and you speak to there's a couple of places, a couple of merchants. You just wander along and find a couple of merchants who are woodworkers. Obviously you don't have many people to choose from because Craxis isn't that large. And they all take a look at this wood and they don't recognize it. It's not something common. They can tell you that it's definitely a very uncommon, quite a rare wood, but understanding exactly what it is, they're unclear.
Take a look around their shops, their stalls,
Mm-hmm.
and have a little look to see
a couple of workshops where they also sell products as well. Yeah.
Anybody who does anything at all by any way similar carving techniques. Is there anybody who sells woodworking carving from other planets as well?
That's an interesting point. The thing about Craxis is it doesn't really have. It's not really that cosmopolitan, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, get that feeling.
It doesn't have the variety of things. I mean, you can get
Or home
you can get
crafts.
meals, you can get a good room. There's a variety of things that you can pick up, but it's not like, it's not like going to Enchant, let's say. Yeah. If you go to Flax, you're going to find somebody who's capable of doing this level of carving, but you're not on Craxis really.
But you never know. You have to try. Just in
No,
case.
sure, worth it. But none of them can identify the wood, which you find quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
One of them does suggest that they might chip a bit out, so they can just see within it, and you're like, no.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So JL, you're quite intrigued by this because you'd seen the box before, you'd seen it sitting to one side, but this is the first time really that you've seen it a bit more up close. And it was covered in kind of in ashes, and it was fairly mucky, and you figured it was probably burned, even if it wasn't burned through, it was burned on the outside. But you realise that Megan has cleaned it up, and it is looking burnished. It's looking almost perfect. So it's quite intriguing.
Yeah.
And you can see that it's all intricately carved, but you don't, you try not to pry too much. She'll show you if and when she's ready. But you can see what look like very intricate, very fine carvings on each of the faces of this thing.
I mean, it's not exactly the kind of thing you should have dealt with in trades, but it's in the right sort of area, so she's definitely intrigued by it.
Yeah, you've never seen anything like it.
No.
You've seen beautifully made art pieces and things, but never seen anything like this.
Yeah, she's definitely given it a bit of a look from afar, just kind of having a curious eye, but not. You'd be waiting for the signal to proceed further with any questions, that kind of thing. She's not.
Indeed. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave the stall I'm at. Move on.
Okay. Right. Very good. So you meet up again as a group, and then you discuss what you've found out between you. Is there anything else you want to talk about at this point before you proceed?
I mean, I think obviously we've all been listening in, so assuming we catch each other up on everything that's been said.
There is something I would like to say.
Yep.
So when we mention either Varo or Lovelaw mentions Ostrix, okay, the Tabaxi.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Not
go
Ostrix, but okay.
Ostrix.
Asterix. Whatever his name is, the guy who looked like Rorix. The guy, the magic person with a magic shop on level 3 at 225 Baker Street. Okay. Can you guys remember when we were looking at the corpse of the dude, Beldo? I actually, it might have been before then actually, I said maybe Rorix wasn't the intended target.
You did.
Now,
that is
it
correct,
just
sir.
happens to be that my cunning brain has remembered that I said that. I had no influence from the GM whatsoever. Just want to state that on record. At which case, maybe he's not out of the woods yet. So I wonder what Zem was after. that he's able to peddle or he's actually got in his inventory.
Yeah.
It kind of
Well, we
makes
know that
sense in my puddle brain.
We know that Zem Kalchar is a wizard, and he tried to do some business with the Oracle. So, yeah, I mean, Zem Kalchar, it might be that he did business with this Osteris, and he's cleaning up the evidence, or he wanted something from him, or he crossed him in some way. So, yeah, if we explain our thinking and mention the name, maybe we can get some information.
I just think that the Tabaxi, they have striking colours. They have the ways about them, but sometimes when you're trying to give a description of, or even produce a picture of the person that you want to, if they are so closely in resemble, so closely alike, I think even I know Lovelaw would get confused between the two. And
well, we know that Beldo Patchway was basically brought here to be an assassin. So yes, and we can assume that he was probably shown a picture or was given a detailed description. So,
and of course, with Rorik's being old, feeble, and slow, he's the easier target. So why not take him out? So,
well, no, I think Beldo Patchway was obviously he was under a compulsion of some kind, a magical compulsion.
You think?
So, yeah,
okay.
Well, clearly he was. So I think he basically was. Oh, there's my target.
Okay, which kind of makes sense now as to why. Okay, and
because the helmet was obviously, basically, it was very hard to remove the helmet.
The metal.
So, yeah.
Okay. And do we mention about Megan's case?
What about the Oracle thing?
No, Megan's case, the box. So
I don't know, is that related?
Lovelaw and I. Well, maybe not. It depends on how John's going to let me do it. But if nothing's,
sorry, what do you want?
Well, I'm also a woodworker, so would I be able to roll an investigation to see if I also recognise the wood?
Good question.
I can whittle and I can make things. I might not be able to actually identify the wood.
To be honest with you,
yeah. Just because one can produce things with something doesn't mean to say that one actually knows about the thing that it's whittled from.
A good woodworker would know their materials.
You would have thought.
They'd know. What different woods were, where you could get them from, that kind of thing, yeah.
But if it's not mentioned to Lovelaw and myself and what have you, that Megan's trying to work out what wood she's looking for, then I'm not going to offer my services.
Well, no, because I think we've said that we all explained what we just did.
Yeah. So in which case, do you want me to, what role would you like me to make? An investigation, nature?
I will also say Megan's a woodworker in herself, in her own right. She carves boxes. She's been training JL in carving. That's where JL's picking up all these skills from, that she's carving into the soap.
Well, she's probably
I'm glad to hear that you think you know these things better than she does.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking to yourself, why on earth has she chosen soap as a
I can
medium?
give you an extra D8 of inspiration on your knowledge check if you wish.
Yeah, so it depends on John. I mean, John can see my character versus Megan's. So if he thinks that the role I need to do is roughly the same and it's just a dice roll percentages, then fair be. But if whatever the role that I need to make, if I've got higher than Megan, then it might be worth having a look. You never know. It's not to say that one is. It's just that you come. Megan comes from one side of Wildspace. I come from another.
There's always a chance, isn't there?
Yeah. So
the answer there is that you want to make a nature check.
A nature check. In which case, then, yeah, you guys are all fucked. And I get a D8. You said extra. Pete.
Yeah, extra D8.
Actually, you don't, because there's you can't inspire this. This is pure knowledge.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 2 moments.
Hang on. Is that some bardic inspiration? Yeah.
Yeah. Says the creature can roll the die and add the. Oh, let me pop it in. There.
That's okay.
Oh, sorry, I just rolled it. Yeah.
Makes an ability check or a saving throw, not a skill check. Right. Okay. No, that's fine. Right. So.
Come on.
It's not there because I'm looking at the wrong bloody thing.
Why is that not? It's just basically putting up a. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it basically says one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
It takes up to an 18 if that was what you did. That's not a bad score.
So it doesn't say skill check.
No,
it doesn't actually. It's ability, attack roll, or saving throw.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Yeah. So 16. I look at Megan and I say,
"Burn a Benny."
You're as flummoxed as she is.
Yeah.
It must. I mean, it
Sorry,
doesn't
dear.
look like it. It doesn't look like anything particularly special, but it must be something that's from a very particular place.
Yeah.
But you don't know where that is.
I'm sorry, dear. I tried.
I don't recognise it.
Okay.
Huh.
So
Well,
should we hang about until later on this afternoon and then go to 225?
Good question. I think we still have to probably provision the ship to be ready for the flight
What,
we
cake?
intend to take. No?
We brought back lots of cake with us, didn't we, JL?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Not the carrot
Yes,
one.
you
That's for Salnam.
And not well, those have been shipped off already. We've got those actually sent from the cake stall directly to Shamnam.
And there's always
Shamnam, Damalani, Ding Ding.
mayonnaise or beer or something else.
Or wine from out of the jug. How long does mayonnaise last out of the jug, do you think? 24 hours before it starts to go bad?
I wouldn't like to. I wouldn't like to know.
Hey, team, we found a purveyor of magic items. We know that he's we know his address, and he has just returned from the funeral of the Tabaxi that we were at. Try not to say anything and make it awkward, but he looks just like the guy. Well, actually, you guys may not have met the guy, but anyway, whatever the case, follow us. He should be at his place now.
If you want to buy anything from him, I would suggest you do it first before we bring
Kill
up
him.
the more uncomfortable subject of the fact that he might be the target of an assassin.
And show him iron ships.
Yeah. It was weird, Salnam. We asked her what kind of cake she'd like, and she's like, I think I like carrot cake. You think you like carrot cake? It's a bit of an odd response.
Well, maybe it just meant, I think I like carrot cake today.
Maybe.
She's a weird one.
I guess even though we've sent her cake, we've not actually seen her eat any. Just that she's accepted it.
Okay.
But anyway, she seemed great. She seemed grateful.
She did seem very, very delighted that we would think to offer her some gorgeous cakes. as a thank you.
There's no disagreement that we're heading towards the Tabaxi's magic shop.
Nope. Very happy with that.
All right. So as we're talking, John, we're moving that way rapidly.
So what made you want to buy her a cake apart from to say thank you?
Well, you'd mentioned about her not eating anything. And
So you just sent her a cake and not actually watched to see if she eats it?
But it's a precedence cake. We can now send a
You
future
watch
cake.
people eating. That's a very strange thing to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like being watched when they're eating. It makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Feels a bit weird though to sort of give someone a box of cake and open it up and say, "Go on, eat it now."
Yeah.
Or
Eat it in
ouch.
front of me.
It's not a good thing to do.
Next time we meet her, we can talk her about her being fat, and that'll be funny. Because
Ah.
it's jail.
A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder you need
So-
a new hat, JL.
You
Ring the doorbell.
you wind your way up to the location on level 3, and there's this weird numbering scheme. It's a good job he told you, because otherwise you'd never found this place. It was on level 3.
I'd be looking on level 2.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Also, you'd probably be a different street away because the numbering is just not consistent. And you find this door, and it has a sign outside saying what they are. And so you knock. Pause for a moment. Try the door. Yes, yes, yes. Coming. Yes. You hear a bolt. Key.
I'm gonna stand outside, guys, and make sure no one bothers us.
And the door opens, and there's a halfling. Ah, hello.
Hello.
Greetings. Hello.
How are you?
Yes, good. Can I help you?
We hope you
we're
can.
here to see Ostrix.
Right.
Asterix the Gaul.
He's not a Gaul from a tiny village that didn't give in to the Romans. Okay.
I
There's
said
stones everywhere.
Ostrix.
Osteris. Osteris. Ostris. Ostris.
Oh, we're here to see the big O.
Osteris.
The big fan.
There's no X.
There is how I
Ostrix.
spell it.
You're famously great spelling. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
But the fishmonger's wife.
Oh.
Come on now.
Was he expecting you?
Yes. Is he back from the funeral? Well, finished ages ago.
Yes. Yes, he's not in at the moment.
Oh, why not?
Well, because he's out.
He's
He
gone
looks
to
like
the
you're
funeral.
a half-wit. I mean, genuinely, what kind of a weird question is that?
Right. I thought it was a valid question.
Well, while we're here, it would be a great help. My friend here, Jay, come step forward, is looking for something that hopefully you might have in your wonderful products here.
Well,
And she pushes JL forward towards this half elf.
the boss is not in, but if you'd just like to step inside for a minute. So
Yeah, sure.
what you've got is a reception and viewing room. I mean, this is the kind of sort of thing you have in higher end establishments, rather than having a shop where the wares are laid out. You have maybe a couple of display cases, a table, and you can come in and sit down and be shown things. And it's beautifully wood panelled in here. Kind of feels very upmarket. There's a lovely rug on the floor and nice furniture and so forth. Right. Well, if you'd like to just sit down for a moment, what were you looking for? As I say, he's not here at the moment, but I can pass things on.
Well,
Madam?
and you notice that her kind of demeanor has changed slightly, and she's gone into like kind of official mode. She's kind of this is kind
Right.
of
He
an
turns and he looks at you, and he sort of you just see his Excuse me. He seemed quite. He seemed to be quite brusque with the rest of you, but as soon as he looks at you, JL, and you've put yourself on the chair, and you've crossed your legs over, and you've got one arm, and you just fix him with this look, madam, I am so sorry. Yes, I'll ignore them. What can I do for you?
Thank you. I've heard that Ostrich is a purveyor of magic items, and I have interest in acquiring a rather amusing and entertaining item. Called a bag of tricks. I wonder if you have any available. If you could source one for me.
I think it would be something we could source
Hmm.
without question. I don't believe we have such an item in stock at the moment.
No, it's not an urgent item. It's more for.
We tend to trade in very particular high-end items that have a high value and that people are particularly interested in for very niche reasons.
Yes.
High-end, but for adventurers, certain adventurers in the past, we have procured high-end swords and some other artifacts. But usually these things are very specific to the person. We don't tend to. We're not like a shop. We don't keep a stock of things in general.
No, I'm
things that come into that come into our orbit, and we're able to purchase, and we know that we can sell on to a select few people. I don't believe that there's anything in stock that would necessarily be of interest to you at this point. Our stock is very thin at the moment, but that is not.
Yeah, I understand. I'm in the business myself. I am by trade a seller of high and acquirer of high value artifacts and items.
You seem familiar to me, madam, and I really must beg your pardon. There's something about that crest that you. Yes, of course. You represent the family?
I am of the family.
Madam, I must apologise. I really must apologise. Terribly. Where are my manners? Allow me to bring you some refreshments. I'm
very
not sure
kind.
what your friends would like, but I'm sure I have something for you. Yes, I am so sorry, madam. Where is my hospitality gone? I'm sure Osterus would be appalled. I can only apologise.
Yes, I am on personal business rather than official business, as you know.
Understood.
Neutral, but, yes, enjoying my time.
Give me a moment. And he turns, and there's a door in the corner of the room. He turns and he goes over to the door, and goes through. Yes, go chase the tree. Oh, very good. Okay.
Quickly,
I'd like everybody but JL to make a perception check, please.
Oh dear. Yeah, Ostrix is already dead behind the thing here.
Oh no.
Varo wants to try and make an insight check. So basically, he's analysing this guy's behaviour.
Right.
And he wants to see,
Yep, go for it, sir.
Does he seem,
Yep, and if you want to, yep, no problem.
No, not great.
That was better than 10.
You think he's a bit obsequious, but you think he feels kind of on the level.
Okay.
He does it. I mean, he could be just very good at hiding who he is. You're going to feel for these things anyway, because of who you are and because of your training and your knowledge. But you just feel like he's probably on the level.
Okay.
You're not detecting anything.
Again, yeah.
drawn. Either he's very, very good at hiding who he is, or he's just actually being fairly straightforward. Because his demeanor really changed. He looked at something in jail, and the rest of you are like, huh? But she's wearing
family
one of the things
reputation
she's wearing
preceded
is
her, obviously.
coat of arms that mostly nobody ever pays much attention to. It's on a buckle on a spot here. But this has obviously unlocked something, and he is,
And she's got a signet ring on her finger with it, and a little thing on the tail, which is the little barb on the tail. She's got a little brass.
tail, is it? Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was
She's got a signet ring and a little tail attachment.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the way it's positioned, you're sitting and you've got your hand here, so the signet ring is showing. Yeah.
Yeah, she moved her hand to make
your tail is curled round, and your tail is just laid over the thing. So yeah. So the barb on the end of the tail is just laid there. So anyway, he opens the door. Did I get a roll from everyone?
Yep.
I did. Megan apparently is far too busy looking at her shoes.
Yeah, but only the one roll. So success.
Yeah, but she only rolled once, so that's good.
Yes.
Really weird. I know. I just gave it the lightest tap.
Yeah.
But it's shit.
So Varo and Shaggy, you two are actually sat. There's like a little sort of sofa, two-seater sofa, and you sat kind of together, the two of you. And you just both happen to be positioned just right to be able to see through the door as he goes through. So opens the door, goes through, and goes out. And the two of you look at each other. And Shaggy says, "Did you see what I saw?" Like, lots of boxes. Everything's packed up through there. It looked as if the room beyond, there were still some things laid out and obviously functional. It looks like more an office. I think perhaps if there's living quarters there further through, this space that you're in really is a business space. But where you would expect there to be, things laid out, a desk with things laid out and so forth, you noticed there were some crates and things were packed up. There were some crates stacked up, as if things had been packed up to leave. He comes back after a minute or two, and the two of you look again through the door. And you're pretty sure it's not just they've taken a delivery. This is, the furniture seems packed up mostly. There's still one corner where there's a desk still in use, but everything else seems to be packed up.
What race is this dude?
He's a halfling. He's not a race.
Right.
Species.
Okay, half a race.
Dude, species.
Okay, half a species.
He's a half.
Hmm.
So he serves some really nice, chilled, fortified wine and some little nibbles. And he comes back over to you, JL. I think it might be difficult. If you come back in a few days, I'll tell you if I can. I think one of our suppliers might be able to get a bag of tricks, and I'll be able to tell you how long it would take to get here. I'm sorry I can't be clearer on it. It's just I need to make some communications first. There may be a trader here with one here on Craxis anyway.
I know they're not the most common of items, but I thought.
No,
I'll check.
no. Not generally what we were dealing, but for you, madam, no problem at all. We will source one.
Much appreciated, thank you.
Anyway, he just sort of bustles around and gives you drinks and nibbles. He just makes some idle small talk.
Yeah, what is your speciality then? What is your kind of area of expertise in trading? You have a particular set of items that you stock that you trade, or What's or more of a on-demand basis?
You have a cloak of invisibility.
Hmm.
Scarf of cunning.
Boots of jumping.
Speciality is generally in acquiring artifacts and single items of significant power. Sometimes it can take a while to find the right contacts and to set things up. We're not producers, you understand.
No.
We set up expeditions to go and retrieve
May
things.
I lean in the door here?
Where they are. And we buy from those who, such as yourselves, that would be out there and in a position to collect certain items.
Obviously, we'll be going on various expeditions ourselves. So if there's anything, we may be able to source something for you if you have anything.
Well, if you find rare items and you are looking to sell, we can find you a buyer. If you want particular work, and there is something that we have been tasked with retrieving, we don't have anything on at the moment. But if there is something, then of course you can.
Nice.
You can speak to us, keep in touch, and if we have something appropriate, we will task you with retrieval. We pay very well.
Do you just have the single office here, or do you have offices elsewhere?
Just here. I work for Osterus. He is the master here. I help him in many different ways, but yes.
I bet you do.
How long have you been established here? I mean, we're relatively new to the area, so.
I think I have been with Osterus for a little over 6 years now, and he has been here considerably longer than that. I didn't ask him. I'm not sure exactly. I think he's been here 10 or more years. I think this is an ideal spot for his business.
Just have
simply
advantage.
because it lies at the nexus of so many different connections.
It's been beneficial to us while we've been here.
Good. Well, thank you for your time today. And as I say, in 2 days' time, if you would like to pop back, and I'll let you know how I've got on. I need all of tomorrow to communicate and to find out what we might be able to achieve.
I don't think I got your name.
Indeed. You look at him as he says, indeed, and it's a strange. It's like he's not answering. What's going on here? What's this all about? Yeah. And you remember meeting a dwarf.
Oh yes, at the docks. They were like, names are such a strange concept.
Yeah. And you realise, you look at him, and you realise he, like the dwarf, he's wearing, and Varo, you see this as well, he's wearing this golden talk around his upper arm. He bows.
Yep, bow in return, and says, "I really like the little crispy wafery things you put. Those are very nice. I'll take a couple with me."
Yes.
And sorry, what was his heritage? What was
his heritage?
His background, his
He
race,
is
as it would have been known.
He's a halfling.
He's a halfling.
Yeah, he's a halfling, but he's nameless. It's like, who the hell are these people?
Yeah, I think they've not really followed that that avenue of
Nope.
history. There might be something to
There's another
investigate.
one.
Yes, indeed.
Osteris isn't though.
No. Right. Well, thank you. That was good.
Okay. So, I think we're going to bring it to a close there. What we have is a trader. Well, not even a trader. A dealer in very high-end magic items. I mean, not even the kind of things that you guys would normally be looking to buy.
Yeah.
You know, asking you if he's got a cloak of invisibility. A little bit too low end, really.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking sort of,
Artifact
very rare
and
stroke artifact type purveyor of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Who organises expeditions and organises things to go, people to go and get stuff, right? So we got that going on. And mystically, even though he said he was going to be around, he's not when you turn up. It looks like the back room of his establishment has been packed up.
Even though he's been here for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Makes me think that he's got word or realised that he's a target, perhaps.
I think
It seems to me that he's the sort of trader that a dodgy wizard would definitely have in his little black book for acquiring questionable things, perhaps.
Certainly, that's a possibility, isn't it? That sits as a possible.
I just check because I don't actually know whether or not we do or not. We don't have the helmet, do we?
No, you do not.
Salnam has that, doesn't she?
Oh, well, actually, Orax has it, but Salnam picked it up and threw it around last night, and then took it back and gave back to Orax. Yeah. But basically, Salnam's people have it. Yeah.
But you see, that helmet wouldn't be. I don't think that would be high end enough for this guy. I mean, the fact that they were prepared to stick it on the head of a disposable assassin suggests that's pretty cheap commodity, wherever it came from.
Whatever it was, and however it was made, it was made for a job, and then I mean, they left it on his head when they
exactly
drowned him.
I mean, they didn't even bother to chuck it.
Valuable, can it?
Nope.
Yeah. And they put the ignominy of giving him a helmet on his head that forced him to do things. Yeah. And putting him in a box.
Yeah, put him in a box and shipped him here.
Cargo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we have further clues here, but certainly the strongest clue that you've got so far is to head to March to get more of an understanding.
Sounds like a good plan next time.
Yeah.
Or
Brilliant.
well, hopefully get a chat with Osteris.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, but that means we're waiting
If we can find him.
around for 2 days.
I don't think we'll be finding him again.
Well,
No, well, in the near future.
Well, hopefully we do. But the next time we've got a legitimate reason to pop on in is in a couple of days, though, isn't it?
Yes.
So
we can hit it to March.
I mean, it might be prudent prior to leaving that, or if JL sends correspondence to the nameless one, we will be back in 2 days. We're going to go off planet. Please make sure that old matey Bean Boy's there when we come back.
What? Who's old matey Bean Boy?
Osteris.
Well, it begs the question: would it be wise at all to tip off Solomon that we found something weird that may have to do with this whole mystery and let her start doing some investigation while we're gone?
We could.
I
Well,
don't
we
know.
could certainly speak. We could speak to Orax.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
The point
'cause
about
that's-
Orax is that he, this is what he does, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's obviously,
Let him
intelligence.
knock it out. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, and
sounds
then
good.
we'll get back to
I'm glad you said that, 'cause he's not a policeman.
anyway.
Yeah.
He's the closest thing that Salnam has to any kind of military, but yes, much closer. He really is. His job is intelligence. His job is to see and hear what's going on.
Well, possibly not here with those little ears, but yeah.
Well, he doesn't use his own ears and eyes most of the time.
Absolutely.
You don't know who
Yeah,
you're talking to, do
I
you?
think that's a very good idea there, Anthony.
Yeah.
Very good
All
idea.
right.
Okay. One to discuss next week.
Indeed.
good.
Excellent stuff. Like, it's really good. Really, really good.
Thanks,
Unquestionable.
John.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, we've got some good solid leads there, I think.
I think so.
Hopefully, yes. I just think we need.
If you got all the way to the end, we appreciate your support. Thank you for watching the NVRA whilst we bring you content of different games. If you like what we have done, please like and subscribe.